Ice on your ways, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away, even when I'm up.
What's going on YouTube? FitnessKensho here. Today we got another tutorial and we're talking about the king of all leg exercises, the freaking back squat. So a lot of people are afraid to go heavy or even to perform the back squat just because it is a difficult movement. But it's only a difficult movement if you don't practice the proper techniques. And when I talk about techniques, I'm meaning, for example, you got your proper feet placement with the bar. You're actually breathing correctly, and you're pretty much holding the bar in a comfortable position so that you're not in pain throughout the reps of the actual set. One thing that we need to fix and make sure when we are doing the back squat is feet placement. Is almost one of the most important things ever. And what do I mean by that? So, for example, let's say for someone who stands right here and they squat and they come straight down, you always want to position your feet in the direction that your knees go. So for taller guys like myself, I'm 6'3", so if you're a 6'3" male or 6'3" female, you want to get a little wider stance because you got longer legs. You're not going to be able to do that narrow stance squat unless your hip mobility is really flexible. So for me, I try to go a little bit over, maybe shoulder width apart, and I have my toes pointing out this way so that when I squat, my knees are going in the same direction of my toe. So think of it like this: if I had my feet straight like this and I was wide, when my knees go this way, that's going to cause a knee pain because obviously my toes are not aligned with my knee. Therefore, my knees are going to go one direction. My toes are pointing in another direction, so like you can see how that could be a little bit painful on the knees. So feet placement is very, very important when it comes to doing a back squat. I'm gonna talk about bar placement. Now, obviously, the low bar versus the high bar there's a big difference. Low bar requires you to obviously sit back a little bit more when you're squatting, and it does put a lot of more tension on your lower back. The high bar, in my opinion, is actually easier because now the high bar is right here, and all you have to do is pretty much just think about coming down, not having to bring and load the bar a little bit lower on your back. So as a beginner, high bar is definitely recommended, and then as you progress, get more comfortable with the squats, definitely move into the low bar if that's what you prefer. I'm a high bar kind of squatter, so I stay high bar, and that kind of like does the trick for me. Breathing. Oh my God, breathing is very important because a lot of people don't know this, but the squat is a full body motion. It's a full body exercise, excuse me. And the reason why it's a full body exercise is because it requires you to stabilize your core in order to pretty much control that weight, and also your lower back to control the load that's on your back as well. So lower back and your front core is definitely part of makes up the entire core. Let's just put it that way. So when I'm thinking about breath control, I'm thinking, for example, if you're wearing a weightlifting belt, then breath control, I say it's still important, but it's not as important if you weren't wearing a weightlifting belt. So if you are a beginner, definitely get a weightlifting belt just so you can practice tightening up your core. It's gonna help you squeeze every time you want to push a breath out. That weightlifting belt is going to help you tighten up your core. But for someone like me who doesn't use a weightlifting belt, the technique that I use is that I take one deep breath in, and when I come down, I'm pretty much holding that until I come back up, because that's going to help me engage my core and tighten it up so that this is strong. The biggest problem with the squat is that some people, they're not controlling their breathing. They're not really focusing on what they're actually doing when they're actually performing the reps. So if you are, let's say you're breathing when you're down there in the hole, in my opinion, you should not let go of any of the air at that point, because that's just going to make your squat weaker. The stronger your core is, meaning you're making it strong because you're testing it up, the stronger your squat is going to be. So those are three key points that I'm gonna show, that I'm pretty much gonna say about the back squat that are gonna help you tremendously when performing these reps. All right, so I got 135 here on the bar. I'm gonna do a couple of reps here for you guys, and I'm gonna show you exactly how it would be to position yourselves here. So when it comes to the bar, I always, for a person like me, I always say, you know, cops put a gun, someone put a gun at you, you put your hands up, whatever that is, that's where you put it on the bar. So for me, it's typically these lines that are right here on the bar, and that's kind of like where I keep my hands, right there. Obviously the bar, I like to keep it high for my high bar squatters. So I put it right above, like kind of like a little on the high part of my traps. That's a comfortable position. Again, this may vary for different people. Find what works best for you as far as the positioning of the bar, because think of it, if you're going to put it in a position where it's going to be painful, then the pain of the bar is not going to allow you to continue the set. So find a position where it's actually comfortable. If you can't find a comfortable position, this is more for the ladies who don't really have the trap muscle to comfort the bar. Then look into using the little padding. Most gyms have them that you kind of strap up on the bar to give you more of a cushion so that you're not in pain throughout those sets, all right? So again, cop pointed a gun at you, put your hands right there. I'm putting the bar right above my traps right here. Unloading. And again, I'm going a little bit shoulder width apart with my toes pointing out. And I'm gonna take a deep breath. And I'm gonna hold this breath in as I come down. I'm gonna take another deep breath and then I'm gonna perform the set. Alright, and after you perform the squat now, when you hold that breath in, let's say you hold your breath and you come down, what I like to do is I like to take, exhale a little bit and then inhale again. So the breath that I initially take when I first begin the set, I'm not exhaling the entire breath that I have in my core, in my stomach, in my lungs I mean, because I'm not gonna try, then that means that I'll have to exhale everything out, inhale. You see how time consuming that could be. When we're talking about time and attention, you want to be able to, get your sets in not as fast as possible, because obviously it's not how quickly I perform the squats, but it's more about when I continue that set, that rep, I need to go right into the other one to maximize the most amount of tension on my legs. So my breath control that I do is that, I would take my deep breath in, exhale a little bit, just a little bit, maybe you want to let something out, just so you're not, holding your breath throughout the entire set, because you do need oxygen to your lungs. And then inhale a little bit back in. So exhale, and inhale with your nose right into it, and then jump right into the same next rep. If you find yourself that you're getting tired out, obviously, let's say you get to maybe, sometimes this happens when I'm doing a lot of reps. Let's say I get to about 8 reps, and I'm like, oh crap, maybe I kind of didn't do the best job at controlling my breathing. Take a couple extra seconds, and just repeat. Take that deep breath again, and just try to continue where you left off. But try your best to control your breathing throughout the entire set so that you're not getting tired out and you are able to keep your core completely tight when you're actually performing every rep. All right? So again, that's the back squat for you guys. I know there was a long time coming for those back squats, but I wanted to get a bunch of tutorials to you guys before I actually covered the back squat. But again, I got a long list of requests for exercises that people want tutorials for. So back squats was on my list after I showed you guys the goblet squats. If you guys have not checked the tutorial on the goblet squats, especially for the beginners, because I think that's a great exercise to prep you for this actual squat, just because it helps you engage your core when you're coming down with the dumbbell. So I'll leave that in the description down below so you guys can check out that video. If you do like this tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment if you guys have any other workouts or any other exercises you guys would like a tutorial on, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.